Continuing with the topic of maritime law for mariners' understanding, today I will talk about the concept of general average and compare it to the concept of particular average. So these terms are commonly used in maritime insurance or maritime law, and this is a useful video for mariners who are appearing or intending to appear for their certification examination, especially senior officers such as chief officers and masters. So I hope this video is useful for your orals or your written examination. In today's video, I'll also talk about the role of the average adjuster and what is the expectation from the average adjuster. So let's start talking about the general average. There is a general average act, or an act is considered as a general average act when and only when any extraordinary sacrifice or expenditure is intentionally and reasonably made or incurred in time of peril for the purpose of preserving the property imperiled in a common maritime adventure. So, to simply explain this, an act of a vessel is considered to be a general average act when the vessel incurs a loss or a sacrifice is made to preserve the ship or the safety of life in a dangerous situation. It could be a collision, it could be flooding, it could be grounding, and I'll give you some of the examples. When is it considered to be a general average act? Alright, so going towards a port of refuge, maybe to seek shelter from a tropical revolving storm, may delay the vessel, especially if it's a liner vessel that is required to meet the deadlines. In that case, of course, the delays in arriving to the next port is incurred by the owner, and they may have to pay for extra cost, but the insurance covers it because it was a general average act by the vessel. So going towards a port of refuge to seek shelter from a tropical revolving storm, or to, if the vessel has a hole in the hull and the vessel has proceeded to the nearest port to carry out repairs, may delay the vessel from commercial reasons, but from safety reasons, this will be considered as a general average act and covered by the marine insurance. Another example could be a voluntary beaching of the vessel to avoid sinking. So grounding the vessel intentionally to avoid sinking. And another example could be working of engines when the vessel is aground. Alright, so to refloat the vessel, if the engines are worked and it sustains any damages, then of course it is also considered as a general average act. Some of the general average sacrifices. What are some of those sacrifices? For example, if you jettison deck cargo, so you let go of deck cargo for common safety. So sometimes it has been known that timber vessels that carry timber on deck. Timber is the kind of cargo that absorbs a lot of water and moisture and rain, and because of which sometimes a vessel may develop an angle of loll or may list uncontrollably to one side. So for the safety of the vessel, if sometimes the cargo is jettisoned to make the ship upright, then that is also considered a general average sacrifice. Then slipping of anchor to avoid the collision or a fire situation. So if you have to let go of the anchor completely, not let go but slipping of the anchor, so you lose the anchor. It could also be in terms when vessel is dragging anchor to another vessel, or if another vessel is dragging anchor onto you and you decide to let go of the anchor, or the anchor cable gets fouled with, say, a submarine pipeline or something like that, then you can let go, or slipping of the anchor rather is considered a general average sacrifice as well. Similarly, any damage to engines or hull sustained while attempting to refloat the vessel in a grounding situation is also considered to be a general average sacrifice. General average expenditures include cost of discharging cargo to refloat the vessel or for carrying out any necessary repairs, hiring of tug to assist refloating of vessel, expenses incurred by going into the port of refuge, and covering of wages of crew during port of refuge. So all these are of course extra cost to the owner, but if it can be justified that it was a general average act, then the owners are covered by the insurers or the marine insurance. The contributory values to a general average act are the ship, the freight, and the cargo. So owner may insist on contributions as follows: cash deposits, signing of Lloyd's average bond backed by a back guarantee, or involving the P&I club or similar institution guarantees. So if you didn't understand what this means, that means general average contribution. So when the owner sustains losses due to a general average act, that could be because of the delay of vessel or loss of cargo, all contribution to the party. So people who are concerned with this safe navigation of the ship or the safe arrival of the ship, such as the cargo owners or the charterers, as well as the ship owners, they will all contribute towards these losses. So the loss is not incurred by one party, it is distributed by multiple parties. So of course, part of it could be covered by somebody like a P&I club, which is a no profit no loss club. They are formed by the ship owners, where each owner contributes a certain amount. So all these losses could be covered by the P&I club, or part of it could be covered by the P&I club or through cash deposits. But interested parties or stakeholders to all these parties can contribute so that the loss is not incurred by one party only. Then we talk about the average adjuster, or role of the average adjuster. So whenever a general average act occurs, it is the duty of the ship owner to appoint the average adjuster, and the ship owner has a common lien on the cargo for general average. So the ship owner also has an interest in the cargo because he earns freight in through the cargo. An average adjuster is actually an expert on marine insurance and general average, who assesses what is allowable under general average, the contributory values of each party, how much each party should contribute in case of a general average, depending on, of course, their contribution or their losses rather, and the allowances. The average adjuster will require details such as cargo manifest, bill of lading, signed average bonds, and deposit receipts, as well as surveyor reports. So the average adjuster is a third party that comes in and confirms that the general average act has occurred, and then calculates the amount to be contributed by each of the party so that the loss is not incurred by one party only. Then we'll compare general average to particular average. And particular average is defined by a Marine Insurance Act as a partial loss of a vessel caused by a peril insured against. So for example, if your vessel is insured against fire or collision or grounding, and a partial loss of the vessel has occurred, then it is considered to be a situation of particular average, but it should not be a general average loss, and more directly described as a partial loss arising from any type of an accidental loss. I'll give you some examples very soon. So a particular average falls directly upon the party interested in the subject matter. Alright, so in the case of hull damage, it is the ship owners or the hull underwriters that bear the loss, and in cargo damage, it is the cargo owners and underwriters that bear the loss. So this is different from general average, because when a general average act occurs, since it is for the overall safety of the vessel, then all the parties such as the ship owner, charterer, cargo owner, hull underwriters, they all contribute some amount. But in particular average, it is only the concerned party interested in the subject matter that will bear the loss. So some of the examples of particular average could be straining of the ship in rough weathers, the loss of deck cargo or equipment due to heavy weather, the damage to the hull or cargo due to fire, the damage to the ship or cargo due to collisions or strandings, and in all cases, a protest is to be noted by the ship's master, the underwriters, surveyors and owners, etc. to be informed, because part of these losses will also be covered by the insurers as well. So I hope you guys understood what is general average and particular average, as well as the role of the average adjuster. General average is commonly used in maritime law and marine insurance, so you must understand it carefully because it also helps in your practical application at sea. Bye for now, guys.